His advice is to give your friends somehow some measure of control to bring you back if you get lost.
All right. And Mahogany says in response, I might have either an advantage or a disadvantage in the fact that my changeability is inherent to my sense of self.
And he agrees that might be an advantage or a disadvantage. He's sure the Alkainics will pay a great amount of money to know the answer to that question if and when you return.
So about this chair, though, you were having like height and weight issues?
No, he doesn't have any height and weight issues. He can make any adjustments that need to be made. He does ask, though, what form you want to be in when you're strapped into the chair. Like, are you going to be this? The wet, slimy Genasi?
And Mahogany thinks about it. He goes, I guess that's the second most time that I've spent in a form. So probably good. I don't think the other one would fit in the chair.
Mechanically speaking, this is going to be Mahogany's default form when he goes through. Whatever you were in when in the chair. In order for that to happen, though, and he opens up one of the little rubber caps, and inside you see a series of 3 small needles to be injected into your arms. He's not sure the machine will work if you don't have a fleshy piece to interact with that needle.
Oh, you're lucky I didn't pick Air Elemental then.
He's not sure he could strap an air elemental to the chair. He's willing to try.
It's polite of him.
Very notably, though, he does not probe any personal questions about Mahogany. Either he's not interested or he doesn't see them as relevant.
Mahogany asks him personal questions.
And he answers none of them. And is... like, he feigns insult when you ask. You don't need to know anything about him for this to go through correctly. Make an insight check. Charisma insight.
Oh, come on, Brick Road. Charisma insight. Such horse shit.
No, that would be animal handling.
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
Fuck it. I want to know what the fuck this guy's up to.
What does that turn into with wisdom
pointing
insight?
that.
Oh, jeez.
What does that score turn into with wisdom insight?
Wisdom insight?
Yeah.
It's a, that would have been a 12.
12. The good news is I was fucking with you. It's not going to charisma insight. I just wanted to make noise.
Thank Christ.
Bad news is 12 still isn't high enough, though.
Yeah, I'm still gonna, like, belief point that shit.
Okay.
Like, for sure. Oh, wait, I roll at advantage! Because I have enhanced ability wisdom up!
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so you take the 17 then.
Yeah, 27.
Okay. Karathe really, really, really does not like Factal Reese. He doesn't like that she's in charge. He doesn't think that she should be in charge. And he definitely doesn't think that this research that she's had him doing all this time... I mean, he did it of his own volition. It was his choice to do it. But he doesn't agree with her reasons for wanting it done. He doesn't say any of this outright, but this is the sense you get by talking to him. Mm-hmm. So further than that, by extension, he doesn't like you very much.
Yeah, well...
because you and Reese have a lot of similarities, and he knows that you look up to her as Factal and like the direction that the faction is currently taking.
I'm used to that shit.
Do you do anything with that information, or just let it sit?
No, I'll just pack it in. Maybe it'll come in handy later. Well, maybe it won't. Who knows? Okay.
When he turns into an obvious villain and you have to fight him?
You don't need to know a villain's motivations, Brick Road.
And then he opens up the 4 containers and asks you to place these items, whatever you want to take.
All right.
Do we still have Destil? I saw him just drop out of tabletop.
Yeah, that's disconnected.
Oh, I didn't know I dropped it. I just have it in the background.
Okay.
And Mahogany says to him, is there a way that I can sit on this chair so that this keeps floating around? He points at his iron stone.
Are you attuned to that?
Yeah.
He tells you if there's a magical bond between you and the item, it should carry over safely into the Orgel.
All right.
Whether or not it will continue to orbit your head here, he doesn't have any idea.
There you go. All right. In there, I will put my my chain shirt, shield, my still living branch of mahogany that I use as a staff, and what's going to be fun? Let's do some research. I bring the solutions bag.
Who wants to go next?
Kelian does.
Mr. Kelian.
And before he can even say anything, he says to him, the funny thing is that I'm not going to bring Mrs. Fluffybottom, but she's somehow going to find a way onto this mysterious plant.
He says that's very unlikely.
Oh, I don't think you've met Mrs. Fluffybottom then. You should have seen her in the City of Brass. She was A-okay.
Messed up. Messed up for a cat.
He asks Kelian if the reason you're not worried about Jade Bull's mind being turned to mush is because you're working from a starting point of your brain already being mostly mush. He tells you he'll put the cat into one of these containers if you really want to.
No, he doesn't need to worry about that. Trust me.
Kelian has a
just
magical
going
bomb.
to be there.
And he goes through the same kind of questions he did with Riot. He needs to calibrate this machine properly for the type of celestial you are. So he asks a lot of questions about your heritage, whether you know what sort of celestial blood you have.
He has no idea.
Okay. He can calibrate around that.
Yeah. And Kelian explains that he has no idea, and that's why he kind of...
He kind of what?
The kind of celestial that he is.
Okay.
The weird, corrupt, murderous, psychopathic kind.
You're saying you had a bad childhood, and that explains everything.
He's not interested in Kelian's childhood at all. He does, however, ask you probing questions about Mahogany. His ambitions in the ciphers, that sort of thing. If you know anything about how high he's looking to climb, or whether he's looking to garner Reese's favor, that sort of thing.
That's not really why Kelian has taken an interest in Mahogany. So he can't give sincere answers to any of the...
Do you try to give insincere ones?
No.
Okay.
He's just honest.
And is Kelian wearing faded colors at the moment?
Yeah.
He tells you that chances of finding any sort of material treasure in the Orgel, making any sort of profit on this expedition, are excruciatingly low. You understand that?
Yeah, it's...
He also asks whether or not you understand that a bag of coins counts as a bag plus however many individual coins are in the bag.
Kelian gets that, yeah.
He also
Kelian
points out that there's a non-zero chance that he, Karafe, is just going to rob you after you're plugged into this machine. He could just take all of your wealth and walk off with it.
That is entirely possible. That is a thing you could do. But then you have to live with the fact that I would probably hunt you down and probably put a bolt in your neck.
He asks why you're so confident that this machine won't simply kill you once you sit in and he turns it on. How do you know this isn't just an elaborate trap on his part to get his hands on your wealth?
To which Kelian says, if you somehow manage to conspire with the factal of the Transcendent Order to steal my wealth, not only my wealth, but also potentially murder my comrades, then you can absolutely have it. Because that is an elaborate ruse that even Kelian, not only could Kelian not see coming, he's actually kind of honored about. That it would take that kind of deception to pull one over on it.
And he seems impressed with that answer. You've obviously put a lot of thought into this. And he completes his calibrations and asks you to fill the box with the items that you want to bring with you.
No, well, watch this. Mrs. Fluffy Bottom's here now, and then she's going to disappear, and you're going to wonder where she is, and she's going to be on this plane. So it's definitely a crossbow. Magic armor. He's got his crossbow bolt case.
Do you explain to him how that crossbow bolt's how the case works?
Yeah.
How you kind of just close it up, and every day you open it, and it's filled with more bolts.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you that all of the research he's done indicates that functionality should continue on the other side, but that he cannot guarantee anything of the like.
Okay.
That it's entirely possible you'll take that case through and it'll work fine because it's magical, but it'll be empty when you arrive. This is just something you need to prepare for the eventuality.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kelian won't be able to hit anything.
Kelian killed that green dragon!
There's no need for that.
That's a big target, green dragon. What did you say, huge?
And Kelian asks, so if I put regular bolts in the case now,
He says that...
close it up, put it in the thing, put it in this jar, this container, it is entirely possible that on the other side I wake up, I open it, and there's just the case. It's empty inside.
And he nods. That's exactly what I'm saying. Most likely, because the ladies' mazes are material places, at least those are the reports, there should be things there that you can scavenge and fire in your crossbow. And then, of course, the magical functionality of the item may carry over, so it will refill itself naturally over time. But if you cross through and immediately find yourself in need of it, have a backup plan in case it doesn't work.
Kelian puts his sword in the container.
Okay. So go ahead and select your 4 items.
Yeah. It's going to be the crossbow. It's going to be the sword.
Do you share this with us? That you're, they're trying that you can't bring bolts.
Yeah, well, he's been telling everybody individually to kind of watch their back.
What if Mahogany brings a woodworking tool and a piece of wood to carve you bolts?
Doesn't Mahogany have like a woodworking trait where only 50% of those bolts will be able to be fired?
Yeah, but I can make them really quickly, so if it's immediate problems you want.
Okay. Well, again, we don't have to worry about actually making the decision on what goes in the boxes right now. I'll let you guys talk it out while I'm going through experience calculations and stuff for this week.
All right. Yes, Kelian's brain is definitely mush.
Nath.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you that when you arrive on the other side, he expects you're going to have to work very closely with Reese to make sure the safety of your companions is maintained. He says the reason for this is because several of your companions rely on divine magic, which is not reliable. One of them focuses entirely on a magical case of crossbow bolts, which might be empty. One of them can't decide on a shape to stay in, which might be problematic. But you and Reese both use a cornerstone of arcane magic. He's pretty sure will work most of the time in about the way you're expecting.
Excellent. Believe me, keeping people safe is literally my highest calling as a spellcaster.
And he says, to that end, then, don't be too hard on yourself if you're not able to keep people safe on the other side. You're going to what might be the most hostile and dangerous place in the multiverse.
Nath just nods.
And he says it's his understanding that you haven't known Mahogany for very long.
Not particularly.
And then he kind of gives you the same rundown. He wants to know about Mahogany's ambitions and things.
I don't think Nath has any insight onto that. Is this to calibrate the machine? Do we have to know the relationship between each of the participants? I could come up with a list between each of us, and then we could ordinarily arrange ourselves around the seats.
Make an insight roll.
Sure.
Wisdom insight.
It's not charisma insight. Damn it.
No, only when it's nodal is it charisma insight.
Insight is plus
Charisma
10.
insight.
Make a strength insight check. You're having a really firm handshake with him.
22.
22. So you ask, is this necessary for the calibration of the machine? And he says yes, it's of paramount importance, but he's lying.
Okay. I'll just file that away.
He asks if you have some means to create important or expensive components when you arrive.
I mean, I have so my thought, and this is the one question I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you say one item, if I had enough dosage of, say, ointment for a true seeing spell to cast multiples, but I put it all in a single small container, would that count?
Maybe. When we're talking about liquids, we wouldn't want more than one potion's worth of liquid at a time. He says he's willing to try as much as you'd like, but he can't guarantee all of it would survive the trip.
It's just enough for the lids of the eyes. I assume that, and I don't have a lot on me, so
Okay.
I'll try it. As far as I have my staff with me, I'll be bringing that. My cloak and this ring, fortunately, are both attuned. Aside from that, I was just going to bring my spellbook, obviously, and some components.
He says because this is, for him, because this is a faction mission, and because he is very worried about its level of success, he offers you some time to study of his personal library to inscribe spells if you need to. If you can think
excellent.
of something that might be useful, he's willing to share that knowledge with you to see this mission through successfully.
I can give it a skim. There's one or two areas of expertise I think I might be lacking.
He says, in all of our research and all of our time with this apparatus and looking into this place, there's one thing that we have no knowledge of. We have no way to know whether or not your psionic abilities will work. We have no way to know whether or not they will be a liability to you. He says, because this is not a plane of intellect like the astral, where psionic abilities are very powerful indeed, but neither is it a place of material, which is the matter that psionic abilities influence. He says it's entirely possible. Well, he has two theories. His first theory is that it's a completely psionically dead place. Your powers will simply be inert. The second is that it's essentially a turbocharged psionic place. A place that will be so filled with psionic energy that it will destroy you. And he has no idea which. The good news is he has a form of medicine that he can give you for the duration that you're under in the device for 72 hours to render inert your psionic abilities.
Do you think that would stop the overwhelming torrent of psychic energy from tearing my mind apart?
If it exists, it certainly would. If it doesn't exist, you would simply be hamstringing yourself. The decision's yours.
Would I be able to sense it without my own abilities? Most people, from my understanding, don't have a sense of the psionic. So we'll never answer the question.
And he personally doesn't have any psionic abilities himself. So he wouldn't know the answer to that. He's not really familiar with them, except in an academic sense. He's simply
I
putting
think
it to
answering
you
the
in...
question is valuable. I think we should leave my abilities intact purely to see how they're influenced by the place.
He says, very well. And then he calibrates the machine. And go ahead and take a few minutes, because I know you guys wanted to confer amongst each other what items you all wanted to bring to make sure you have...
I had two other things, Brick.
Okay.
One, I want to make clear that Riot is leaving the Kodrashi Fork behind.
Okay.
And two, I want to cast Ascending to Riot's mom.
Okay.
The message is, "Hey mom, our feline was Yugoloth. You have 25 words to respond, and this isn't a fucking cantrip."
So what is, because this is a question that I can answer. Like, what is Riot's relationship with her mom? How would Riot's mom respond to that?
They haven't spoken in a long, long time. Yeah,
So-
I guess like that's it. Like they parted ways one time. Riot left.
Okay. So if you had to assign a percentage chance that Riot's mom would give her the honest answer to the best of her ability, what would you say that percentage is?
She wouldn't lie to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure if she would use this 25-word chance that she's been given to speak to her daughter again to say, yeah, that's it, good luck with whatever you're doing, or just completely waste it.
Was it Riot that ended this relationship, or was it her mother who walked away?
Right.
Okay. So, my next question for Riot then is, now we have to get a firm answer. What does Riot's mom believe?
Oh, yeah.
Tanari, Yugoloth, or Beatisu? So, I know whether or not that's going to be true, but the question is, what does Riot's mom believe?
Okay. Yeah, the reason Riot said Yugoloth, I think, is because that's what her mom kind of alluded to once.
Okay. Then yeah, that's the answer you get, and then 24 words along the lines of, "Oh my God, it's been so long. Where have you been? I've been worried, and how could you just walk away like that?" And then it ends because you only get 25 words.
Right. All right. Well, that solves that.
All right, so just so I can, you guys all have the Discord chat open, yes?
Yeah.
What I need is, in writing in our Flumph party chat, just a list of which 4 items each of you want to take with you. Whether you guys, I know you guys want to have some discussion of that. And while you guys are doing that, Nath, are there any spells that you don't have in your spell book, but you think Karathe reasonably might have that you want access to?
No, my log.
I'll give everybody a couple minutes to discuss that kind of stuff, because I'm going to run to the bathroom. I've had to pee since like 5:30.
So I know Nath brought up the idea of Mahogany bringing his crafting kit,
Well, it was just a suggestion. Yeah.
but maybe Nath doesn't know this, but Mahogany's a cipher, and he already said what he's bringing.
I might have a slot open. Like, I don't necessarily have anything good for the last slot.
I've got, so I'm going to bring the crossbow. I'm attuned to the case, which is great because it doesn't need to consume a slot. He's going to bring a sword, so he's not completely useless. So that's 2. And his armor is magic, so he's not worried about that. I mean, we're gonna be in a maze with like doors and shit. Maybe. I'm not against the idea of bringing some thieves' tools, so we can pick locks if need be.
Well, yeah, but you're also gonna have Riot along.
That's
Who
true.
knows- Who knows knock? And it's a really,
Yeah.
and it's a fairly low level spell, so you can.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The funny thing is this guy thinks he's going to rob Kelian, and he literally has no cash on him, right?
But it might be a good idea to bring these tools just in case knock fails or like we need it for something else. Like it's always good to have a backup plan.
Yeah, because it's weird. He's a taker, and he's actually not. He doesn't have a lot of shit right now because he keeps losing all of his shit over and over.
The only spell that I don't have in my spell book yet that I think has a lot of utility that might be useful if we don't know how the hell physics work is telekinesis.
Telekinesis?
Yeah.
Let me look that up real quick. What level? Well, I'll know the answer in a second here. Transmutation?
Mm-hmm.
Are you passing this information on to Reese as well? Or are you just going to go do the research for this spell?
Well, I mean, I'll tell him. I mean, this is the only spell. So am I skimming through his spell books and, like, basically, since that's the only one I'm thinking is useful in the main PHP, that's the only one I see?
Okay. Because the answer to the question is, yeah, you can scribe this spell, but this is something that Reese can also do.
Okay.
So if you're thinking in terms of you want to be able to do it, go ahead. If it's something you think the party needs to be able to do...
I mean, I don't have, the most 6th, 7th, and 8th level spells. I don't know how powerful this guy is, but I'd happily trade him. Like, I have a lot of powerful abjurations in my book.
He's not really interested in a trade right now, because
Okay.
looking at it from his point of view, he's doing his duty by his faction.
Okay.
And this is research that he's dedicated his life to for a long time.
Yeah, I think I'll take it just in case as a backup.
Okay. So go ahead and scribe that.
I won't necessarily prepare it if Reese can do it, but...
Take your fine familiar, too.
I don't even want to know what kind of familiar you'd find in the Orgel plane.
Get an Organal plane familiar?
So just to clarify for the viewers out there is no information on the Orgel plane at all in any Planescape material. The Orgel plane came about as kind of like a fan creation after all of the material was published because people thought it was weird by the rule of 3 that there was no plane connecting the inner and outer plane. 5th edition has a concept called like the Great Beyond or something, beyond the knowable, like kind of a Cthulhu mythos kind of thing where some warlocks draw their power from, where Terran drew his power from in the previous campaign. And there's some speculation amongst Planescape fanatics that and the Orgel plane might be the same thing.
That's fine.
All right.
Terran's not doing too good. How good could his patron be?
So do you need me to carry something? I mean, I've got a whole slot that there's pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
I have a few ideas, but...
Rickard, so the way this thing works is we have to put whatever it is in the thing, and then on the other side we'll get it back.
The way that Karathe explains it is that he's going to create this box to essentially let you attune to 4 of these items. They're going to become a part of you. So when you cross over to this other place, these 4 things will cross with you. He erred on the side of caution here for the same reason he told Mahogany to be careful with shapeshifting, because he was kind of afraid that too many items, too many material things, you might lose your sense of self on the other side.
But so my question, I guess, is in order for Riot to have her pants, she would first have to take them off and put them in the box.
Yes, she'd have to go in the box.
Okay, well then there's no point if I have to take them off first.
They have other pants that you can wear in the machine if you just want to be wearing pants on the other side. Or
but if we're wearing magic armor, we're okay because we're attuned to the armor.
Yes.
Yeah, like I have magic armor, so I'm covered there.
Yeah.
If you're just worried about modesty, then instead of like one shirt and one pair of pants, you can just put like a robe in one of the boxes and have a robe on the other side.
Never been super worried about modesty.
I don't think anybody in this group is. Maybe Nath hasn't come up yet.
No, Nath is not particularly modest. Or
Okay.
If the rest of the party gets embarrassed, Mahogany will just make himself smooth like a Ken doll.
I'll put something better than pants in as my fourth item.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got. I mean, if anyone needs a 4th, otherwise, I was thinking about maybe bringing a tuning fork.
For what plane?
Asylum.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
That sounds like a hilariously bad idea.
I've got enough space for that. Give me the tuning fork.
Oh no, I've got an extra.
Oh, you've got. Okay.
Yeah.
And what form does Mahogany want to be in when he's strapped in the chair?
When the way he says this is going to be like permanent.
Mechanically, the way it'll work is instead of the Genasi being your base form in the Orgel, you have the opportunity to have a separate base form. In this case, you would like be a bear naturally, but you'd be able to wild shape into a Genasi, and then when you run out of Genasi HP, you're knocked back into a bear.
You're gonna have to give me a moment on that then, because
Okay.
that's not how this is gonna take some time.
The only caveat is you need some kind of fleshy part so the machine can do its injections.
Does it have to be literally fleshy?
It's got to be
Or does it need to be solid?
something venous.
Okay.
So
Something
it can
that I need.
I hate that we need to come up with this answer. But
I love that we need to clarify that. I mean, in mechanical terms, any basic animal form would be fine. Any elemental form, probably not.
I have a good answer.
Is it octopus? Is it?
It's not octopus, although octopi do have a ability to breathe, to hold their breath for a long time. But no, I'm unfortunately level 14, not 15, so I can't come as something really dumb. But I can come as an elephant.
Okay.
You can't fit in the chair.
No.
The chair's gonna fit on me.
Don't worry about the chair. He'll make the chair work.
I want fan art of this scene so badly.
Just
From
four
us
dudes
and
sitting in a
Riot
chair, Riot
and-
fucking naked as shit.
I thought he could only do that for 7 hours a day.
Just this giant fucking elephant. Just...
Yeah.
All right. I regret writing this scene now. All right.
It's not my fault.
Sorry, I had a question. Just to so 100% clear, Kelian is attuned to the case, right? Even
Yes.
though there might not be anything in it when he transfers.
He's attuned to the case. If for some reason you wanted to not bring the case, you'd have to break attunement going through the device.
Rickard, I have a banana for you.
So, Riot, you say you're not bringing the Kodrashi fork?
I'm not, because Riot figures that if this connection really is severed between her and Ostrom, it's bad enough to lose Riot. And like losing Riot and the Kajashi fork might kill Ostrom.
Okay. So, before you go through the machine, then you're going to have to break attunement with the fork. Otherwise, it's coming anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you can spend that slot on something else if you have something else in mind. At hand.
What other magic items do I even have? I have a lot of stuff.
So we have a lot of bookkeeping to do in terms of me notating what items and everything. So we're just going to assume that you guys have gone through all of that.
Yeah.
So the last thing that we're going to do this week is everybody's strapped into the chair. Some severe modifications have to make to Mahogany's chair. And they kind of have him, like, slumped down in front of the chair, but, like, his trunk is laying on the thing and getting... It's weird. It's... we definitely do need fan art of that, yeah. And as you guys
wait,
watch...
hold up on that, because you might want to hear this banana first. And Brickard, I just sent it to you on AIM, just in case you're going to have a scene after we come through.
All right. Give me a second to read this.
You might have a conniption before he has a scene.
You want to spend a banana on this?
Oh, I think it would be the greatest fucking thing ever.
So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this happen, but we don't need to worry about a banana.
Okay.
You don't have to spend a banana on this.
All right.
We'll just make it happen.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds pretty good.
Okay. So, when you get to the other side, your Genasi form will be a valid wild shape target, but all the other wild shape rules apply. You can only stay in it for 7 hours. You get knocked out of it if you hit 0 HP, etc., etc. Make sense?
Okay. Sounds good.
Reese has 4 slots. Everything she's bringing with her is magically attuned. So communally as a party, you guys have 4 more slots to work with. She's bringing her staff, her cloak, and her horseshoes.
Right, how good is food? How long is food good for? And I'm pronouncing the umlaut. A day. I mean, we don't know what the relative properties of time are, but we could just make a bag of food and put it in one of those.
Some rations, you mean?
Yeah, I haven't prepared any way to magically sustain us. I hoped Riot would be handling that.
I'll handle it on the other side. Don't worry about it.
Well,
So-
just in case the magic fails, I think. I mean, 3 days is not that
the
long.
magic
Maybe
won't.
at least some water.
The magic won't fail. Don't worry about it.
I want to finish up all this bookkeeping. So the last story scene here we're going to do is everybody gets strapped in. You feel the injection in your arms or your tail and or trunk, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And as it does, you start to feel weaker and weaker. You watch as the clear liquid in the center globe starts to fill up with some measure of your blood. I mean, it's hard to make the assumption that everybody here has red blood, but we'll just go ahead and say that's the case. And as he's doing this, he's going around and tightening the straps on your ankles and your wrists, laying your head back in the chair, and
Giving up on Mahogany.
putting the trap on his head. The magic spells he had in mind to paralyze you, he ramps up for Mahogany. And what he does for Mahogany is he puts this... I hate to have to ask this, but it is a formality. Does anybody try to resist the paralysis?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm way into this.
What he has to do for Mahogany, since he can't strap him down, is he throws this metal mesh net over the elephant's form and spikes it into the floor to the point where Mahogany couldn't move out of it if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And as you're immobile, you all drift off. It feels like you're falling into a very deep sleep. And where we're going to leave the session is if you've arrived at Jade Bull's Maze, it is not anything at all like you were expecting. You don't see any walls, no doors, no hallways, no twisty passages, no nothing. Just a huge expanse of bright blue sky and clouds. And you are surrounded by monkeys.
Fucking luck assholes.
And this is a monkey.
It's a monkey-like creature. Sure.
And that's where we're ending the session. So now we're going to go back and do all that bookkeeping that I didn't want to bore everybody with while I do some experience calculations. I'm also going to go ahead and paste the straw poll in the Twitch chat here. There you guys go. Can somebody just confirm that that link got posted? Because my Lappy's been having internet issues today.
I don't see it yet. Yeah, I don't think it happened.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
It didn't? Okay. Then I will just shoot the Lappy some more internet, reload the page, and try it again. So many monkeys. It's great.
Better add a few monkeys.
There are some monsters in the Planescape material, because the Planescape books have some of the best artwork I think came out of 2nd edition D&D. I love the artwork in this game. I just pasted the straw poll again. Good. And there are some monsters I've always wanted to use in a Planescape game just based on the artwork. And this is one of them. Another one was the wacky hula hoop monster you guys fought at Osprey's Temple.
Oh, yeah.
A favorite of mine. So there's a straw poll. Everybody can go ahead and vote for who you think is the blippiest this week. I'm going to tally up everybody's experience. While I'm muted, go ahead and figure out everybody's item slots. Remember, you've got 4 in Reese's chair that you can use as well.
Yeah. I was having trouble even filling up my
Yeah, I could happily just throw some expensive components from some spells I might want in 1 or 2 of those. But the other thought is, do we think Liberation will need anything?
I assume Liberation's going to come through the start of next session.
Yes,
Liberation
has been here the whole time. Don't worry about him.
No, I know that. I'm saying, do we need to save him any space, you think?
He's a monk.
That's what I was thinking.
He barely needs his 4 spaces.
He might, he'll probably put 1 dart in each of his 4 things.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, the only other magic item I have right now is that Ring of Fire Protection, and which is worthless because I need all the other people to be attuned to it.
Yep.
I guess if there's free space, I might as well bring over my Robes of Osprey. which I wasn't going to bring because there's like no mechanical benefit at all.
The one thing I might think to bring... these compartments are probably too small for a mirror for scrying, right? Maybe they have a crystal ball or something?
Don't worry about the physical space inside of the
Okay.
compartment, because if you're trying to put an item in that's too big, they'll just use magic to shrink it down.
So I guess my question then is, does he have a crystal ball or something for scrying? Because mine's sitting in Ostram's temple that he could put in here for us.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
He'll lend you one of his.
I'll take one of Reese's slots for a scrying device then.
So have you guys finalized all the boxes and put the list into the Discord?
I don't think anyone's put Reese's box in there.
Yeah.
We're actually having a little difficulty trying to fill them all out. I think there was agreement on letting Nath have some expensive spell components, but other than that...
The crystal ball is pretty much the best one for me, so...
Okay.
Mahogany put something in one of the boxes.
So we want to put crystal ball. Mahogany, what did you want?
I'm gonna put my magical mug.
See, I was having Kelian behave and everything, and I was like,
What if we get
a
thirsty?
cigarette.
Listen, there's,
A lighter
by
and
my
a
count,
cigarette.
by my count, Kelian, there's still 2 slots left to put in this plus one.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand. She's just going to be there. Like, she's just going to be there. She's going to vanish, and dude is going to be like, oh, where the hell did the cat go? And she's going to be there with us, and she's going to be licking herself, grooming herself. Like, yeah, no, this is totally normal. I'm a cat.
So I haven't loaded up Twitch chat yet. Let me go and open that. Chat, how do you guys feel about this monkey?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're just off to see the wizard.
All right. I've got everybody's experience tallied up here.
All right, I'm gonna put Reese's items in the Discord unless anyone else has any more feedback.
Yeah, go ahead and just finish us off here. And then you
What's that
scribed
page?
telekinesis spell and borrowed a crystal ball.
Yep.
So
All right, here we go.
Mahogany's base form is elephant.
Yep. Man, I love me a hardtack.
It's compact, all right.
All right, so for Riot, I've got her rapier, her guitar, her holy symbol, and the copper wire ring.
Yep.
For Mahogany, I've got his coral chain shirt,
Yep.
his shield, his staff, and the solutions bag.
Yep.
For Nath, I've got spell focus, spell book, ointment for true seeing, and the Elysium tuning fork.
Yep.
Kelian, I've got his crossbow, his sword, and you want 2 boxes for thieves' tools,
Yeah,
So like
whatever I can fit in there.
a pick and a screwdriver or something.
Yeah.
And then in
I
Reese's boxes, we've got a crystal ball, magical mug, 100 feet of rope, and 1 day's worth of hardtack rations.
I want on record that McDohl wrote crossbow, but he spelled it expo, and I misread it as Xbox.
So when he gets there, he'll be able to play Gears of War. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah. Which is totally a Kelian game, by the way.
Kelian, when you arrive in this place where you're just falling, and you are falling at great velocity, Mrs. Fluffybottom is nowhere to be seen.
What?
Not yet.
No way. I am shocked.
Well, think of it this way, Kelian. You had to go literally someplace that might not actually exist in order to get away from her.
Give it time. I'm sure she'll make an appearance.
All right, let's award some blips. We do one blip for the most creative solution of the session.
Creative.
No suggestions? Nobody did anything creative?
I'm trying to remember the combat.
Combat got pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The combat was the fun kind of silly. Lots of wacky stuff happened in the combat. No? Nothing?
I kinda like Nath leading the gargoyles through all of the traps he laid.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
It's Nath. All right. What about the assist blip? Who furthered the party's goals the most?
I made that dragon not get away. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It's true.
I might give that to Badass though, and say that Riot making it a water fight was the party assist.
That was pretty great.
That was pretty good, yeah.
All right. And then for Badass, we like Mahogany nailing the dragon down. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. And we give one blip for the intangibles for any other reason under the sun.
If we haven't given one to Kelian yet, we really need to give it to him for the goblin chase.
For the goblin, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, that was really good.
And everybody says goblins don't have any use. All right. Do we have any triple no's on the belief rundown this week?
I think Kelian is a triple no.
And Liberation's not here.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I'm pretty sure Nath's triple no as well. I don't think it's really touching on his beliefs too much.
Riot?
Those with power who use it only in service themselves must have that power stripped from them.
And did she live that belief this week?
I'm gonna say no, because even though they killed the dragon, I feel like almost the real evil here was the enemy Arakakra, who brought it there, and those were the people that they let get away. So I'm gonna say no for that.
Did Riot learn anything new about her beliefs?
Yeah, and maybe not this week, but she's been thinking a lot about her encounter with what was his name?
There's a
The
lot of
bridge
characters
guy.
in this campaign. Oh,
It's the bridge guy.
Morganthus?
I'm sure it's the bridge guy.
Yeah, Morganthus. That's right.
Okay.
About the encounter with Morganthus, and wondering is she the kind of person? Is she the kind of anarchist that she wants to be, or has she fallen on old habits? So she's been thinking a lot about that.
So what has she learned?
That she learns basically that she's not exempt, that she has to apply her belief to herself and not just kind of blithely go forward with whatever feels right. Because at one point in her life, she was also doing things that felt right, and now she feels horrible about it.
Okay. And are her beliefs changing?
No, not yet.
Mahogany, what's his belief?
Everything has a perfect state of being, and everything attempts to change the states of the things around them.
And did he live that belief this week?
No, but I'm going to change my belief.
All right. Well, what did he learn, if anything?
He learned that a thing's perfect state of being isn't permanent. It's not. This is the perfect state for them, and that's always going to be their perfect state. It's constantly changing.
Okay. And what are you changing to?
Everything has a perfect state of being, and it's your duty to change to become more like it.
Okay. I've got 2 belief points for Mahogany, 1 for Riot. Mahogany, would you like to share with the class?
Okay. So everyone, as everyone's falling through the air, you look over, and first of all, you see a giant fucking elephant, which is pretty bad already.
But we'd seen that going in.
But you've seen that going in.
Yeah.
But then, since two of the things that he put in were his coral chain shirt and his shield and his staff, and they've now become part of him, you see an elephant wearing a giant coral chain shirt with a shield strapped to one leg and whose trunk is encircling a giant wooden staff.
You wanted to spend a banana on that?
It's the greatest fucking thing ever.
That's where I like to end the session.
Well, I got to give experience out.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you guys don't want
just
to.
on that image, it's so good.
I kind of want to spend a banana to bring Mrs. Fluffy Bottom in.
I personally only gave out 2 blips this week. I gave one to Riot for a song I hadn't heard yet. And I gave one to Kelian. Good and evil are means to the end, and the end is chaos. I feel like every time Kelian gets interrogated by one of these NPCs on like moral or ethical dilemmas, Kelian changes his answer to be as chaotic as possible. Like, what does this person not want to hear? Because that's what I want to say. I gave everybody 1 blip for the excellent planning and then execution of that plan for the fight. No, don't be calling me on my phone. What are you doing? Stop that. Encounter experience. Everybody gets 2,482 experience. That factors in over 30 goblins, 8 gargoyles, a dragon, and that's split between you guys and the various help you got from the dolphinoids and the very, very small amount of help you got from one surviving archer. Blips right now are 1250, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Riot got the assist blip. Kelian got the intangibles blip. Nath got the creative blip. Mahogany got the badass blip, and our straw poll this week is for Kelian. I'm also assuming. I mean, I think it would be Mahogany, but I really think you turned people off with that pun.
No, but here's the thing: is they're wrong.
All right. So next week we're going to start the session with everybody falling through the air, surrounded by monkeys. I want to thank everybody for playing. You guys are awesome. We'll see everybody then. Peace out.
Later.
Later.
See ya.